It's the Jim and Terry Show, back in the Hobbit hole after hunkering down for a couple of days in a blizzard. Just did you see my mailbox that's completely engulfed in the snow? You could just reach to open it.
I did.
Yeah, that's
my
how much
house.
snow.
We have like 9-foot high drifts of snow.
You're still digging out?
Yeah, well, I mean, it would have been a child's paradise. A friend of mine,
yes,
has a house on the lake, and it's probably he's got tunnels like dug, like sort of like trench warfare.
Oh my
about
goodness.
4 feet high, and a trench down the middle to get to the door, to get to the this and that. And I thought, man, a 10-year-old kid would just have a blast in there.
It is a winter for kids.
Yeah, yeah.
Not for anybody else,
No.
but a winter for kids.
Well, my car's not working right, and
Oh,
I'm not
no.
the only one. Well, because it's probably got so much snow
And
packed
salt
inside
and-
the engine
yep.
that it vibrates when you drive. So
Oh,
it's
my
got to
goodness.
thaw out, so it stops vibrating. And I've dug around, as best I can, dug around, trying to get some of the snow out. And again, you got to watch. If you do that too hard, you're not going to dislodge something, and you got a worse.
You're taking a shovel to your engine?
No, I just around the wheels.
Yeah, just around the wheels.
And
Yeah.
I broke a cleaning brush. I broke that, so I bought a new one yesterday.
You need a heavy-duty brush these days because it's like a foot of snow or more sitting on top of your car. The little brush is not going to do it.
No, I don't know what we're going to do.
Listen to us speaking from experience. Speaking of experience and age.
Is this some sort of segue? Because I'm really tired.
Yeah, it was supposed to be a segue talking about experience, age, and wisdom. And the wisdom of the Jim and Terry Show. 2 retired guys with a cup of coffee, refueled and spitting coffee grounds between our teeth. We're getting into it. Canada, the 51st state, is not going away. We did a podcast on it over 2 weeks ago, but it's persisting and getting worse.
President Trump announced today that he will be calling the United States hockey team to spur them on to victory.
Is that how the 51st state begins? They attack us on the rink?
And then he said, spur them on to victory over Canada, who were longing to be something along those lines, our cherished 51st state. Listen, audience, the ones and twos of you, you will be a second-class citizen in the United States for at least 100 years, if the Lord tarries, and your medical system is going to be completely dismantled. Look what he's doing to his own people. So those he really just wants to conquer so he can have the minerals and the oil and the fresh water, he is going to dismantle all of the health plan. You know why? Because he don't care if you die. He don't care if you go bankrupt. He just wants the money. That's it.
It's getting to be a class warfare kind of thing, but I don't want to go down that road just yet. Let's talk about the 51st state and the seriousness, because it all began to hit the press when an off-candid hot mic moment with Trudeau when he said, "You better believe he is serious." And that was over a week and a half ago, and that's when everything started to ramp up and we started to hear more and more 51st state rhetoric.
Yeah, and he's already declared war. He has. He's declared financial war against Canada. That was, I think, his words. He's going to do everything he can to bring Canada to its knees. That's what he said. Become the 51st state.
Or else.
Yeah, if you become the 51st state, we're going to let your economy continue on and you're going to be okay.
No tariffs.
Now, a lot of our American friends don't understand our relationship was built on trust and friendship. So yes, we let a lot of things go out of trust and friendship. Like we agreed to not have nuclear missiles in our Northland. We agreed to that because, as our friends to the south said, we will provide the missiles. Even though at that time we were arguing that means they intercept the missiles over Canada. But nevertheless, all of those agreements weren't out of need and out of welfare. It was out of cooperation and an understanding that, okay, we'll contribute this way. And a lot of, through the 60s and that, was peacekeeping. We'll be the ones that keep the peace. That isn't an easy job. We lost men and women in that role who were killed keeping the peace. So to think that all he wants to do is take us over one way or another, and I would not put past military advancement right into our country. I wouldn't put it past that.
Really?
No, I wouldn't put it past it for a minute. Matter of fact, I think he would like that.
I hope that you are absolutely wrong.
I haven't been so far, Terry.
I'm hoping you are projecting a bleak future, a military intervention by the U.S. in Canada because of the ramifications. I hope that there are sane people in the hierarchy of the military, but I'm looking at Pete Hegseth and saying, no, that's not possible. But underneath that, I hope there are layers of what we would call the civil service who function regardless of whatever government is in power. The ones who keep on writing the checks and making sure everything's on time. Those people. But they've hacked and slashed, what is that, 40,000 jobs so far?
Well, listen, I told you about who was that governor again?
Pritzker from Illinois, I think.
I'm liking that guy.
Yep.
And
J.D.
he looked
Pritzker.
at the camera and he said this. He said it took Hitler 1 month, I think it was 18 days, 8 hours or something, to dismantle the German government and take complete control. That's what Trump is aiming for. He loves Hitler. He wants to be one. He's aiming for that. And then what happened after that? Advance on the other countries that had wealth and that they wanted that wealth because they were investing a lot of their money into their military in order to take over the world. Now, I think he's got an agreement.
And Hitler wanted revenge, the same as Trump.
There you go, revenge, yep. And now you got Trump, who doesn't like Zelensky, doesn't like him.
At all. He called him a dictator.
Calls him a dictator, and that he shouldn't have started the war. He didn't start no war.
Again,
Folks, listen to the facts.
This is the elders of the clan speaking.
Well, this is where your
Please.
wisdom came in.
That's
and,
right.
And some of the younger ones whom we love and we understand, maybe even take the blame for your mindset. You are not listening.
No.
You are not listening to the wisdom of the elders, and that's a big mistake. So let me tell you what's going to happen. Oh, wait, it already happened. Trump's on Time magazine with a crown on his head saying he's king. He wants to be king, folks, just like he wants to take over Canada, either annex it or declare war on it, but he will financially break us. That's his goal. So he wants to be king. He's not leaving the office in 3 years. He's not going anywhere.
This is Jim the Prophet.
Unless he naturally is removed.
Did you say naturally removed?
Well, I mean, okay, has a heart attack.
You mean he dies
or whatever. Well,
of illness,
he's
obesity,
He's going to pass
clogged
the
arteries?
royalty down to somebody. And it might, now, he's a betrayer.
Yes.
So it might not be his family. It might be someone like Musk. You now can be king. You just don't know.
Money talks.
And then when that comes, then that's possible you have the Civil War, where states will rise up and say, "You're not our king. We're not going to have a monarchy in this country."
Well,
And
let's
then
keep on the
get fight.
51st state theme. And you've talked about military intervention. You've talked about economic coercion. And I have been reading a lot about Canada's bilateral trade agreements with the EU and with the Asian countries of the Pacific Rim. And we have that LNG terminal being built, and it should be up and running this year, 2025. We are getting the deals for liquefied natural gas that used to go to America.
Yes, and Trump will just call that betrayal of Americans, even though he did it.
He did it.
He's the
that's
one who
right.
did it. Well, it's like he's saying Ukraine. Like,
Oh, yeah.
the reason Trump wants Ukraine to fall is probably more than one, but one is he doesn't like the president of that country.
Well, he was called on one of his impeachment cases for that inappropriate call leaning on
Yeah.
quid pro quo. Zelensky, do this for me, and we'll release the weapons for you.
Yeah, and now he's saying, give us, 50% of all your minerals?
Yes, in those four
Yeah, in
provinces.
other words, the aid wasn't aid.
That's right. It's a quid pro quo.
Yeah.
Again, we call that transactions.
Yeah.
He's a transactional president. You never get anything from Trump unless he knows what he's getting from you.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's So the 51st state, I think we're setting ourselves up for success. And I don't want to say screw you, America, because, it's not about the people. It's about the administration. The history is about the people. The history is about, well, you can go back and play all the speeches of visiting presidents to Canada, to Ottawa, making speeches in our House of Commons talking about friendship. I think one of the best ones was by FDR, who Biden was often compared to. Great presidents say good things. Bad presidents say bad things. And Trump was ranked the second from the bottom for his first term. He's already crashed through the bottom. There is no bottom. Now,
he'll have complete control in under 2 months.
You mean he'll ban the Department of Education
He'll just-
nobody can rewrite the history books?
No, he's going to take over, and it's not going to be pretty. And I'm sorry to say it. And you people who voted for him, you people who support him, you young men that think it's macho to win at any cost. I don't. Wisdom prevails. At the end, eventually, everything's going to fall. If you can't do it honorably, it's not worth doing.
Well, we're going to see for sure. That's the alarming part for you and I as we sit in the hobbit hole in Canada, is that there's no way, to quote the Prime Minister, no way in hell Canada is going to become a 51st state. Well, it may take hell to keep our independence.
Well, and it might
see.
be, as Bobby mentioned, he's confident that the EU, Australia, all these other countries will come to our aid should it happen.
Until Trump leans on them, too.
Well, I think it's possible that within Trump's first term, it's possible we'll be in World War III.
Okay. With only seconds to go, would that be World War III EU, NATO minus U.S. against U.S. and Russia? Will China come to NATO and EU?
I don't know, but it'll actually probably, the United States will be the new Germany as far as they're the ones who are, because they're, as you say, it's make America great. They don't care about the rest of us.
Yes.
And the rest of the world leaders know it.
Yes.
And so, what? You want us to bow down to you? Who the hell do you think you are?
We fought a dictator once in World War II. We'll fight one again, even if he's orange.
He thinks he's king.
The Jim and Terry Show. We're just getting started. Bye-bye for now.
Bye-bye.